Hi, so in this video I'm going to take you along my very first test knit. So my name is Catherine, I'm a knitter living in the French Alps, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me on my knitting journey, and if you're not new here, well, thank you for joining me again and following my updates, and this time my very first test knit. So the test knit I'm going to participate in is this soft edges top from Suviknits. So it's a very nice oversized t-shirt, supposed to be sleeveless, but it's so oversized that the shoulders fall on the arms a little bit, and I really like the overall design and shape of the garment. I've been looking for something like this for a long time, and when I saw Suviknits test call, I just sent a message. I wasn't really expecting anything, and the next day or 2 days later, I can't remember, I received a message from Suviknits saying that I was selected, and I couldn't believe it, honestly. So yeah, I'm really happy, and I want to take you along the journey for this test knit and try and vlog the whole process. I'm sorry if I'm speaking a bit not very loudly. My children are home, my husband's home, and I don't want to make too much noise. I usually knit during the week, and usually film during the week when no one's here, so it's a bit easier. But today, because I'm taking you with me along the test knit, well, I'm going to have to film during the weekend sometimes. So I'm going to knit size S, which is supposed to fit a body circumference of 80 centimeters, which corresponds to my body circumference. And it has, let me just check how much ease. It has a lot of ease, between 23.5 and 33 centimeters of positive ease. I did a gauge swatch, and the gauge that she suggests, which is recommended, is 22.5 stitches per 10 centimeters in width, and I have 21.5 stitches. So my gauge is slightly off, but because of the high amount of ease, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem to have a garment that's slightly smaller. Because I'm still going to be in the recommended ease anyway. So I'm going to use a sport weight yarn. So it's BC Garn Allino, and it's 50% cotton and 50% linen. I've never used this yarn before, so we'll see how it goes. I chose this yarn because of the composition. Because it's a t-shirt, I want something that's going to be light and not too warm for spring and summer. And I'm using 4mm needles, which is the recommended needles for the garment. And there's also 3.5mm needles for the ribbing and the cast on at the collar. I should need about 6 skeins of BC Garn Allino, and I ordered 6 in colorway Bordeaux from a website. It took like a week and a half to arrive, which is a lot. And at the end I had 2 skeins of BC Garn Allino in colorway Beige in stash, so I cast on using the beige colour and ordered the 4 remaining skeins I would need. I cast on at lunchtime, and at the end of the day I went to check my mailbox, and the Bordeaux colour arrived. Oh well, I already started in colorway Beige, so I think I'm just going to continue in Beige and use the Bordeaux for something else, or possibly a second one. We'll see. So this is the colorway I'm going with. It's this one. It looks more like a cream colour to me than a beige, honestly. This is how much I knitted yesterday. Wait, this is oops, wrong way round. So it's knit stitches all around. So it's a mindless knit, which is nice. You start in the round and you do German short rows in the back, I think, if I'm not mistaken, just for the neckline shaping. And then you do increases all along this cute little row of stitches. Which corresponds to the stitch line that goes onto the shoulder. I was searching for my words there. That's all everything I knit yesterday, which is quite a lot. I think it's gonna be quite quick to knit up, because also it's a top and it's sport weight yarn and 4mm needles. It's not fingering weight, it's knit stitches. There's nothing's too complicated. I'm having a good time with it until now, so I'm happy with the pattern. The pattern instructions are quite clear. Everything's going great. Only one thing I realized last night is that along one of the shoulder row of stitches here, I had a gap somewhere. I can't remember if it's this side or the other one, and I didn't understand really what went wrong at first, but I thought that maybe I knitted one of the increases wrong. So I knit up to that row of stitches, and I unraveled that row of stitches and just fixed my mistake with a crochet hook. I just didn't knit it in the wrong way, and yeah, it just completely corrected the problem and it just looks perfect now, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, so what else? There's nothing much to say for now, because this I've only done the yoke. It's not really a yoke, but just the start and the beginning of the t-shirt. Once I finished with the shoulder construction, I think you knit the back and the front separately before you join in the round again and finish the body off. And at the end you finish with some ribbing. And that's it. Actually, I'm happy I ended up using this colour, because I actually wear a lot of white and cream, especially in summertime. This is a colour I usually wear for my tops, so I think this is a good choice. I just received the yarn I ordered to finish the test knit. So as I mentioned, I had 2 skeins of BC Garn Allino in my stash, and in order to knit the top I need about 6 skeins, so I was missing 4, and so I ordered the missing 4 and just received them. So I do hope that there won't be a big difference in colour, because they're not going to be the same colour batch. So I hope that's not going to be a problem, but we'll see. My cat was afraid of the noise. So another packet, and I have, nope, okay. So yay! So yeah, I have the 4 skeins. I need to finish it. So let me just compare with the one I'm using right now. So yeah, I don't know. I think the colour's slightly different. I don't know if you can see on camera. One is really brighter and this one's a lot more creamer. Oh no, this is going to be a pain. Okay, well, we'll see. Anyway, I did receive, I can't speak English anymore. I did receive the original colour I wanted to make the top in, and that is Bordeaux. So I'm going to finish the test knit with this yarn because I need to finish it before the 2nd of May. And then I'm going to redo it in that Bordeaux colour, I suppose. Oh, it's a pain. It's a pity, because it would have looked really nice in this colour. We'll have to see how it knits up. I'll keep you posted about that. I just wanted to show you where I'm at with the knitting. So I just finished knitting the back part of the top. So here is what it's looking like right now. So this is the front, so that's why it's quite weird. You have the neck here, you have the very nice detail on the shoulders here, that line of knit stitches, and then I just finished knitting the back part, sorry. Here you start knitting in the round and you do all of the shoulder increases in the round, and when you finish doing the shoulder increases you separate the front and the back, and then you knit the part, a back part you knit part of the back flat and then part of the front flat, and then you join in the round again under the arms, under the armholes, and then finish the body in the round. Sorry about that, my cat just made the camera move. When I was counting my stitches before separating for the back and the front, I realized that I had 2 extra stitches in the front and 2 extra stitches in the back, and that's because I did a row of increases too many. Sorry, no, I had 2 extra stitches on one side and only 1 extra stitch on the other side. Yeah. And that, I realized, was because I forgot to do an increase at the very, very start of the increases. So I couldn't really fix it from there. I didn't want to go to unravel that row of stitches just to add an extra stitch. I didn't want to play around with that. What I did is that the next round is a round of decreases, and instead of doing 2 decreases I only did 1. Just to cover the odd number of stitches I had, and so that left me with 1 extra stitch in front and 1 extra stitch in the back. You're supposed to have between 23.5 and 33 centimeters of positive ease. So if I lose a centimeter or I gain a centimeter, it's not going to change much. So it's going to be okay. So as I said, I just finished the back part and I'm going to put these stitches on hold and pick up the stitches I left on hold for the front section and continue knitting on the front and then join in the round again. I realized that, sorry if my camera's moving again, I'm in my bedroom and the camera is on the bed and my cat is just walking next to it every time. Midona, tu peux pas passer à un autre endroit? No? Okay. So yeah, I realized that my knitting is tighter in the round than flat, and it's also neater. I could have gone down a size maybe for the section where you knit flat, just to make the stitches a bit tighter and neater, but I mean it's not a huge difference. It's not, I mean, I don't really know if you can see it actually. On the top you have the knitting in the round, and then at the bottom you have knitting flat. Stop playing with the needles. She's in play mode. Well, that's it for now, and I'll keep you posted. It's been a while since I filmed. I didn't have my camera for a few days, and so I couldn't film myself knitting the rest of the t-shirt, but I managed to finish it, and so it's not blocked yet, but here's what it's looking like right now, and I'll put some b-roll anyway. It's looking very wide, and also you can see the difference in colour of yarn. You can see that there's a line, I don't know if you can see it on camera, there's a line separating the top and the bottom. The top is more white and the bottom has a yellow tint to it, which I'm not liking. But I mean, that's because of the yarn I bought, because it wasn't the same colour batch, so that's my bad. So I knit in the round until the garment measured 49 centimeters in length from the middle of the back instead of 47 recommended, because I tried it on a few times and I thought it was a bit short. I don't know if it's supposed to be a cropped top, but I just thought it was a bit too short. I added an extra 2 centimeters to the length and I think it's okay now. Once you finish knitting the garment at the length you want, you start knitting extra length at the back of the garment using short rows, and so the front is slightly shorter than the back. And it was my first time knitting a garment with a different length in the back than on the front, and using short rows, and I really like the construction. It was quite easy to do, and it gives you this nice shaping to it,
and after finishing the shaping at the back, you then knit a few rows of ribbing. I used the technique that was recommended in the pattern. Sorry, my voice has decided to disappear. Every other row you slip the knit stitches of the ribbing, and it makes this nice ribbing with the knit stitches are slightly taller because you only knit them one row, well, every 2 rows. And this was the first time doing this technique, and yeah, it was okay. I also used a new technique for the bind off, which was the crochet hook bind off. It's basically a standard bind off, but you use a crochet hook to do it instead of your right knitting needle, and I find that it helps make the stitches looser, which is great if you want to use this type of bind off method and are afraid that the stitches would be too tight. But in my case, I feel that the stitches look too loose. I don't know. We'll have to see how it changes when it's blocked, but this is what it's looking like right now. And I don't know if it's making it if it's too loose or not. When it's stretched out, it's nice, but when you look at the garment up close, it makes these weird waves. I don't know if I'm not very clear with my description. I don't know if you can see at the bottom, but you see how it's not very neat, and I just hope it's gonna neaten up. That's not a word, but I just hope it's gonna get neater with blocking. That's all I have to do now, is block this garment. I'm not 100% happy with my project. So this has nothing to do with the pattern, which is really great. It's well written. It's very easy to knit up, and it's a great summer top. But I just messed up a few things here and there. Well, first of all, as you saw, the difference in colour. You can see the difference in yarn colour at the top and at the bottom, and it just bugs me. Also, in the front, there's a few places where the knit stitches aren't very neat. The way I changed my skeins of yarn in the front isn't very neat at all, and I did this twice, but then I just ended up making a knot between the new strand and the old strand, and it made it a lot neater. I use a technique where you kind of weave in the ends at the same time as you change the skein of yarn, and in this case, for this type of garment, it just makes it messy, and you can really see the stitch definition, and as soon as you have imperfections, they just stand out, and this is what happened here. So yeah, I'm a bit bugged about that, but we'll see if it just blocks out. Also, second thing, I did a mistake at one point. I have a few stitches in the front. It had to be in the front. You can see I have a few stitches that are loose here. I don't know if you can see here. They're like looser. This is because I have no idea how I did this, but I added an extra stitch in the middle of these stitches. When I realized the mistake, I unraveled the extra stitches I made, and I did this for 3 or 4, maybe 3 rows. Instead of unraveling, I don't know how to speak today, I'm so sorry. Instead of unraveling the rows that were not correct, I just unraveled the column of stitches I added and continued knitting. I should have unraveled a few rows and just knitted it correctly again, but I didn't, so now it just looks messy. The final thing I did wrong is understand my gauge wrong. Again, this is not the first time it's happened. So I had 21 stitches per 10 centimeters in my gauge swatch, and the recommended gauge was 22 stitches for 10 centimeters, 4 inch, which means that my garment is wider than expected, because for the same amount of stitches I have more centimeters. I don't know why my brain thought it was the other way around and that my garment would be smaller. And I think I was just too excited to start, and I just wanted to jump in, and I didn't double check, and I just jumped in and knitted and didn't think about it until I was knitting on the body, and then realized this is looking quite big. I think I got it wrong, and then it hit me. I did get it wrong. I mean, this is my fault for wanting to jump in too quickly and not thinking about it enough. Last thing is, I feel like the stitches aren't tight enough. I think I should have gone down a needle size or half a needle size. I find it's a bit too loose for my liking. Yeah, I would have liked something a bit more tighter, a tighter fabric, and I think this one's a bit too, loose. You can really see the imperfections. I mean, it's not blocked, so I do hope it's gonna block out nicely and the stitches will be a lot nicer. I did take some B-roll and some photos and videos for Instagram, and on the photos it looks okay, so I don't know, maybe it's just my mind. I visualize it very big. Maybe it's not that big in real life. I don't know, maybe I just have to get it blocked, wear it a few times and see how it goes. I mean, it could be really nice to have around the house during summer. I'm still gonna wear it. It's just that, I don't know, I just feel like there's so many mistakes in this that I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed with my work. I know I can do a lot better. I feel like I think this is a French expression, but I'm not giving it justice. The pattern deserves a better knitted garment, if you know what I mean. We'll have to see how it just blocks out. Fingers crossed. All blocked, it's all finished. I am super happy with how the garment has changed with blocking. I'm very happy with the shape of the shoulders. I really blocked it in shape. I tried to block it this line of stitches quite flat, so it would even out the stitches and make it very neat, because it wasn't the case when it wasn't blocked. And I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I love how it just, you see how it just comes out a little bit on the sides. I don't know, I like the shape of it, and how it comes out on the sides and how it just folds here. The ribbing also blocked very nicely and neatly, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. The stitches too. I don't think you can really see my big mistakes in front. Maybe here that you can see that the stitches are a bit loose, but I tried to scrunch them in when they were blocking. I think
evened out a bit. The only thing I still need to fix is the difference in colour. So I'm not sure you can really see it on camera and on the photos, but up close you can really see it. I'm wondering if I will maybe dye the t-shirt, which is a pity because I really like the cream colour. But you really can see a difference. You can see a separation from the really bright cream and then the yellowish cream on the bottom. And it's not even at the same level on the front and in the back because I changed yarns in a different section. I don't know, I think I might dye it. I'm not sure which colour yet. We'll have to see. I'll keep you posted if I do any of that. I might put that in a knitting podcast and keep you informed. If you have any advice on dyeing cotton and linen blends, please do not hesitate to put a comment down below because for one, I've never dyed any garment before, or hand knitted garment. I suppose that the material you're gonna dye will react differently to the dye. Maybe there are cotton and linen specific dyes out there. I don't know. I'll just have to look it up. But yeah, if you have any advice, I'm all ears. Yeah, so apart from that, I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. In my last part of the video, I was saying that I was disappointed with my project, that I did lots of mistakes and I didn't like it. But the blocking really changed the shape of it and evened everything out, and I'm very happy with how it's looking. It's very, very wide, but it's not that much of a problem. It's a t-shirt I'm going to wear during the summertime and it's very breathable. You can feel the air coming under the garment, so I think in summertime this is going to be perfect because we have very warm summers here. Not always, but sometimes they can be very, very, very hot. Very happy with it in the end, so do not underestimate the power of blocking your garment. Ooh, I forgot to talk about the yarn. So my impressions on BC Garn Allino. Well, I like the feel of the yarn. You can really feel the cotton. I haven't worn it during hot summer days yet, so I can't really talk about if it's very breathable, so I'll keep you posted about that. But I like the feel of the yarn. There's one thing I did not like about this yarn. It's just the way the skeins are constructed. What I mean by this is that inside of one skein of yarn there were different strands of yarn inside and they weren't attached together. So you're just knitting away and then you're at the end of a strand of yarn but your ball isn't finished. Sometimes they knot the strands of yarn together in some skeins and here it wasn't, so you just ended up with a strand of yarn. You can't really do anything with it. It's as if you had to change skeins of yarn a lot more than you're supposed to. I don't know if it was just me. I don't think so because I had this problem with all the skeins and I had skeins from 2 different colour batches. So I don't think it's an isolated problem. Apart from that, it was okay. It was nice to knit up with. The pattern is really easy to knit. It's stockinette stitch all around and I really liked the fact that you knit the beginning of the garment in the round. So you do all of the increases and up to here in the round. So really nothing complicated, no ribbing on the neckline, no ribbing on armholes. It's just plain stockinette and it just rolls up slightly here and then on the sides too, on the arms, and it's really nice and it's very neat because it rolls inside so you don't really see the border, what you've knitted. It just rolls up really nice. It's beginner friendly. You just have to know how to do short rows, but that's all explained in the pattern. There's photos and there's loads of YouTube videos explaining the technique anyway out there, so it's not that complicated. It's very easy and very nice and it gives this very loose and comfy and classic look, and yeah, I'm very happy with it. I know I've said I'm happy with it like 10 times already, but I really am. I love how the drape of it, I love how it just drapes down, flows, and it's very breathable and it's very lightweight, and yeah. So I hope this video was interesting enough. I I just tried to film here and there, and then I didn't have my camera, and so it was a bit of a difficult vlog to film, but I hope there's enough footage to manage to make something nice and interesting to watch. So thank you for watching, and thank you for Suviknits for this super test knit. I'm very happy with it, and I love it. Thank you so much, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.